What did the Great Pyramid once contain? Well, the answer is huge amounts of writing. 5th Dynasty pyramids, which are covered with barbaric scribble, the so-called pyramid texts, which everyone says is the most ancient writings ever. Nah, this is very primitive stuff. Tried to emulate the far more ancient pyramids, but which I think the 3rd Dynasty ones, but were a colossal failure, built of mud brick by Hebrew slaves captured from the Hittite regions, which is where the Habiru come from, mixed with Hyksos, who might be the Jews. Later the Hebrews and the Jews combined, the Judeans. But earlier pyramids are built on the foundations of a worldwide empire. Literally. 100,000 years old, as everyone is proving by similarities of stones all around the world, as I've proved in earlier videos, by the Earth's movement of the pyramid from 30 degrees north. Actually, Herodotus is called father of lies because he says things which don't seem to make any sense. And I think he has been hard done by. For example, just because texts have a name ascribed to them doesn't mean they are original. For example, do you know there are no original Aristotle, and the whole thing is actually recompiled based on loose notes in manuscripts. Likewise, there is no original Pythagoras. Instead, we have Iamblichus, who may or may not have been one of his disciples. I think Iamblichus' work is Pythagoras' lost work, however. It's our only main source of Pythagoreanism. So, Herodotus says the pyramid was covered in writing. No one else does. I think this is a really old statement, and some earlier works found their way into his writings. As pointed out in the previous video, the writings must have contained pictures of atoms which were mistaken for our solar system. Thus they called the planets gods. They saw these written down on the pyramid, and they confused quantum mechanics for music theory as both dealt with vibration. The pyramids would have contained information on chromosomes, on human cloning, aliens, different races of man and pre-man, space travel, interstellar travel, and so much more. Information about ancient battles in heaven with spacecraft. That's the basis of the book of Genesis. Genesis was trying to put this into written form. You see, I'm guessing this because this is all in the Bible. So in order to get from the supercivilization into the Bible, texts must have survived the epic super catastrophes of the past. The pyramid is a mechanism for this. Now, the cloning they did was well in advance of cloning performed today, with people living hundreds of years, but less and less as technology slowly died away. According to old Arab writers who copied earlier writings, the pyramids contained all the mysteries of science and knowledge of the world. So, as I've pointed out before, and I'm sure others have, it's impossible that pyramidology was conjured up in the 19th century. It goes back to, before the Stone Ages, for it goes back to the high-tech ages. This is because the pyramid has always been a monument to the incredible. The Arab writings must have been talking about the writings on the face of the pyramids, possibly corroborating Herodotus, and also the writings once found inside them. These blocks were used, the blocks of the pyramids were used to build Old Cairo. If you look at a picture of Old Cairo, you will note, well, it's the same colour as the pyramids, so what is on those blocks? So one of the greatest treasures of the pyramid is actually a shaft, the descending shaft, which is off less than an inch despite hundreds of meters descent. So did they therefore use laser pointers in its construction? The older the works, the higher tech they get. The Odyssey speaks of ancient ships which auto-navigate and electricity. Huh? The Mahabharata tells of a war in the heavens and around other planets seemingly, and even underwater, which parallels lost biblical tradition. The books that have been removed from the Bible. Double huh? All the old books and legends. Perseus, a so-called flying horse, probably an aircraft. I mean, look at the so-called Trojan horse, probably just a siege engine with a horse's head. And you look at what they turn it into with a story. They really story that one up. The Perseus story with the flying horse is way more ancient. Well, it explains the Nazca lines based on memories of flight. In the old texts, whales are actually submarines, flying horses are actually planes, flying chariots are actually spacecraft. The literary evidence alone and similarity with modern technology just keeps piling up to unimaginable stupendous levels. The pyramids contained all of this information, surely they did, but everyone wants a bit. And just takes and takes and takes, like they used to chip away at Stonehenge. They just totally obliterated Robin Hood's original gravestone as well in the same way. Everyone wanted a little piece. They got their hammers out. The pyramids, however, are just so huge, and that's the only reason they are still there, because people actually can't live long enough to actually destroy the thing in a single generation, and then the next generation forgets they were trying to destroy them. That's how big they are. You say, so the Bible says everything was put there for us by God or gods. We who are made in God's image are the inheritors, but put here by who? What's going on with that? There's so many questions, so many unanswered questions. You can't have all this lost technology in the Bible, in all the ancient books, in all the books which have been thrown out of the Bible, which we have access to, by the way, unless there was technology. So I think there was a lost civilization. The pyramid was designed to prove to us its existence. It's a time capsule. That's one of its purposes. Oh, and look at this. Thank you for watching. Oh, look, I've been kidnapped by the Russians. Stay tuned to see what happens.
I think I will have a cigarette. My God, that is a bad-looking lung. Oh well, can't live forever. Where were we? Ah yes, you were talking, finally. It has only been 6 hours 22 minutes interrogation. Why are you holding me here? What have I done? You know, I am just giggling because I think it may not be so good for you if you do not talk. Excuse me, sorry. I'm a tourist. Why are you picking on me? What did I do? What are you doing here in Mexico, in the Yucatan, inside the tomb? I just wanted to get a photograph. With a shovel and metal detector, treasure maps. So what are you doing? Yeah, sure, I have a bit of extra equipment, but you got to pack for journeys, right? I mean, I am in the jungle. You will tell us what you know. Or else... I don't know what you're talking about. I think you do. Oh yes, you know. Make it easy on yourself, please. What was that? Nothing. You hid it behind you. Nothing. Okay, I take your word for it. Why are you holding me here? What are you doing here in Yucatan? I'm in my bedroom! Seems that you want to prevaricate a little. You can try. Please, try. Ah, yes, well, yeah. Okay, I go now.
Oh, that was easy.
Okay, guess I can go. Bye. Bye.